beavers, yeah, they're huge. They're like halfway up your thigh, and they're not their sacks. They're castor sacks. Once they're dried, can get mistaken for testicles. Okay. And so they're literally like the pictures that I saw of it's like in man hands, not my little tiny baby hands, but man hands are two like elongated, almost dehydrated looking balls sacks.
Like that are the avocados.
small avocados, but yeah. And yeah,
I thought you meant that's what beaver testicles were. I'm like, do they just drag them around? No wonder they're always in the water. No, they're in. So then they at least float. They get a little reprieve. And dragging them through the land. They're like, I'm going to go float again.
That's actually how you find them. They leave a little scent trail with their castor balls.
Can you imagine if their balls were that big and they were floating? Every time they like paddled their tail, they'd smack their own balls. That'd be terrible.
That sounds terrible.
Just whap, whap, whap. So, tell me something terrible. So, bear in mind, this is also going to be released as a podcast. So this will probably be where we naturally segue into a normal podcast introduction.
Great. Are we going to banter beforehand, or you just want me to segue right into the intro?
Our usual.
Right into the intro, then?
Half-ass banter.
Oh, yeah. That sounds great. Half-ass banter. That's what attracted me to you in the first place. I was like, oh, this guy. He's great at half-ass bantering.
Is that? I don't think that's a good thing, is it?
No.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Our bit rate's excellent. I don't know what that means. I'm so computery.
Yes, we are. Look at us millennials. We grew up on this nonsense.
All right.
All right.
Did you want to introduce ourselves? We've been live for 10, 11, 51.
Sure.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Tiffany.
And I'm Scott.
And you're listening to Tell Me Something Terrible.
And watching Tell Me Something Terrible.
Yeah, you are.
Whoa.
I got to say it this time.
Yeah, you did.
Look at me go.
We're just breaking down all sorts of new walls here.
Yep. So, well, I guess the last one we did wasn't too terrible either. And this one's not going to be like hella terrible as well because I feel like the last few episodes have been like really sad and depressing. And so I thought I'd go lighthearted. Yeah,
shark
but
death.
Still really horrible.
Shark death is usually considered pretty depressing.
All right. Well, I suppose this episode we can talk about beaver death instead.
What's wrong with you? You like hate the world? Hate
There's
animals?
Not a lot of beaver death. It can be acquired without killing the beaver.
Is that why we have vanilla flavored vodka?
It is.
Oh,
it is. I was saving.
We're just going to talk about beaver death?
No, we're going to talk about naturally made beaver puree instead of man-made beaver puree. Call back to the Rajneeshas.
What was that, like 10 episodes ago?
Oh, gosh. It was during Cultmas.
Yeah. So it's probably 5, 6, 7 episodes ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, not too bad.
So.
All right.
Yeah, if you really want to learn about, the Rajneeshas, highly recommend going back to the Cultmas series.
Yeah.
So.
And good luck.
Yep. It was brutal. Which I realize now.
Most of them ended up being two-parters because there's just so much to go over.
Yeah, cults are a lot. So I also realized now at the beginning of that, I mentioned like what they were doing and you were like, oh, it'd be really funny if like afterwards, like what they're doing with the land for that cult. Cause it was like bought outside of this town in, was it Utah? Yeah.
I think it was Utah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, and then you were like riffing on what it is now. And I was like, wait, we'll get to it. And then we never got to it. So I'm going to tell you right now what it was.
What was it?
So after the land was sold and everything was shut down, it became a Christian camp that preaches abstinence.
Okay.
So it's literally the exact opposite of the sex cult.
Free love to no love.
None.
Yeah, that's quite the turn of events there.
Mm-hmm. I thought you'd enjoy that.
Well, I'm sure they got a good tax break for it.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure they all do.
I'm going in hard for a Cheez-It. Ow.
How is the Shugs? Is it doing okay?
It's 85.
It's not bad. Is it going up at least?
I don't know. It's kind of staying flat.
It is bad. So
me eating Cheez-Its midstream is bad, but we'll power through.
Okay. So we're finally going to dive into beaver-made beaver puree in this episode. So you ready to get started?
I am.
Okay. So we know, because we've made jokes about it, that beaver bum extract smells like vanilla, right? It tastes like vanilla. Yes. It's in our food. It's not in our food really anymore, so we're going to get into it. The Castor canadensis, say it.
Canadensis?
Yep. Castor canadensis.
Is that where castor oil comes from?
No, castor oil comes from a plant.
Oh.
Its own plant.
I thought maybe the root word here, I can talk, was the same.
No. Or the North American beaver. And actually, like, because it almost sounds like Canada, right?
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
Canadensis.
Yep.
And that's probably how you say it.
And also all other beavers, for that matter. Their diet consists primarily of leaves and bark, which is believed to give their castor glands that delicious aroma of vanilla paired with a hint of raspberry.
That's unique.
Yep. So that's what they think gives the smell to the oil that's produced in their glands. The castor glands are separate from the anal glands. They just are very close proximity to one another.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're neighbors.
Yep. So the castor sacs are located between the pelvis and the base of their tail.
The castor sacs?
Yep. The castor sacs.
Okay.
Yep.
Is that like a baritone sax, but just a little harder to hit?
So good news, though, it's not anal seepage. It's separate from their anal glands.
So you can't milk a beaver? Oh, you can. Great. That look was not reassuring at all.
So the oil is its own substance called castoreum. It's described as a sticky molasses consistency, ranging in color from yellow to brown to milky and gray.
There had to have been a marketing meeting where the people that harvested this needed to brand themselves as the Castoreum Emporium. It didn't happen, but it needed to happen.
Yeah, it did.
Because who doesn't love a good rhyme?
That's our new life goal. Is Castoreum
Emporium. Yeah.
We're going to make candles. We're going to sell beaver puree scented candles and then the leather and pain scented candles from like the Duber Hoober calls.
Okay.
Yep. That's our goals.
What if we just had little stuffed beavers that smelled of lavender?
It wouldn't be lavender, it'd be vanilla.
Or not lavender, vanilla.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
That sounds wonderful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like we could have little beaver air fresheners for your car.
Ooh.
That smelled like vanilla.
That's a good idea.
Perfect. See, this is a marketing team meeting.
Well, yep. So the oil is used to help waterproof their coats, and it's also used to mark territories and their dams.
Castor oil is not the same thing?
Yes, castor oil itself is poisonous. It comes from the castor seed. It comes from a specific plant. You can kill people with castor oil.
I don't want to know why you know that, but okay.
So anyway, each beaver family having a slightly different aromatic notes.
Oh, man. Our super fans are here.
Woo!
What's up, guys?
So each beaver family has a slightly different aromatic note, and since beavers have notoriously bad eyesight, this makes it easy to differentiate familiar beavers from rogue ones.
If you guys, you guys did just get here. We are actually talking about the origin story of vanilla in the beaver, not beaver puree, but the their borderline, what's it? Castor glands? Castoreum?
Castor glands, and they make castoreum.
Yeah. So she got us vanilla flavored vodka, and now she's going to talk to us about
homemade. It's been steeping for like 2 months.
Yeah.
I've been holding on to this.
Because we're not fancy. Her clients are fancy.
Yes. So, Joan...
To tone down the fanciness, I have Cheez-Its.
So, Joan Crawford, or maybe Joanne Crawford.
Isn't Joan Crawford famous? She's like an actress?
There's Cindy Crawford and Joan Rivers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Beavers live in rivers.
So, their baby...
Beavers live in rivers. That's out. Yep.
So, their baby, Joan Crawford... she's a wildlife ecologist from Southern Illinois University. Illinois University. Her favorite thing
she loves
to do.
Her hair. I just wanted to.
So her favorite thing to do.
She loves being pet.
Is telling people to get their nose right up like down by the beaver's bum and give it a sniff. And so a lot of people think it's crazy and that she's nuts, but she's like, no, it smells really good because it's beaver butts and it smells like vanilla. She loves telling people to do that.
Wait, if you just pick up any random beaver and lift up its tail, it's going to smell like vanilla?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, because of their diet. They think that that's why it makes the Castoreum smell like vanilla. Yeah.
Okay.
It's like a musky vanilla, like an earthy.
You're ruining it.
Is a musky vanilla with a hint of raspberry. Yeah.
Like a streusel.
Yes, like a streusel.
Perfect.
So
any chance to roll an R I get, taking full advantage.
So according to Crawford, the process of obtaining such gooey goodness is difficult. The beaver has to be, quote, it has to be caught, anesthetized, and then the anal glands must be milked to extract the castoreum.
Okay.
So yes, you can milk a beaver.
So eat wood and your poo smells like vanilla.
It's a special gland that's separate from the poo gland.
I guess. That might. Whoa.
So she says, quote, you can squirt the castoreum out. It's pretty gross.
Okay, so it's like that one time you pet the cat wrong, and it released its anal glands.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's like.
And it like ruined a shirt for you.
It ruined my whole life.
Yeah.
I almost threw my whole self out.
Yeah, I laughed harder than I probably should have.
Because he's chunky, right? So he was walking along the edge of the couch, and I squeezed the tops of his chunky tie-ties and told him he had chunky tie-ties. Apparently he doesn't like that. An anal gland juice came and hit
sauce
my entire face.
Yeah.
My entire face.
Did it smell like vanilla?
No.
No, imagine that.
No, it smelled like
concentrated cat shit?
Yes, it was awful. I can't even describe it. It hit my glasses and it was in my hair and on my clothes, and I showered and I felt like I could still smell it. It felt like it was stuck in my nostrils. It was awful.
Still,
yes.
Was it like 7 years ago?
Yes, it was so bad. So I don't suggest. Be very careful if you're going to grab your cat's bottom because he will squeeze anal juice at you.
Quickly, is our audio okay? Because we have no point of reference, and it would really suck if we saved this recording and found out it wasn't. So anyway, just quick little yes, no, loud or quieter.
Okay.
I can turn Tiff down too.
Yeah. So if you were these are the live beavers. If you were able to find a dead beaver, or like hunt it, because I don't actually know the current status of beavers, or if they're like a huntable animal at all right now. They weren't. They almost were extinct.
Huh. I don't know. I feel like you probably get a beaver. Don't you trap beavers? I don't think you hunt them. I don't think you like walk around with a gun and shoot a beaver. I feel like you set a trap.
Them first? Yeah, I would imagine.
Kind of the way they do, what are those things that go in and out, like slide in and out? Muskrats. They like make slides on the edge of ponds. That's how you know where the muskrats are.
Uh-huh. That's what we're calling them.
Yeah.
What we're calling it now, a muskrat?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they slide in and out. Do people hunt beaver? I don't know.
I would imagine because it was kind of a problem.
Make your own beaver hunting joke now.
I mean, yes, we do hunt beaver.
I don't want to get banned off of Twitch or
bald beavers or sorry. So
as
if
long
you
as
were
they smell like vanilla.
No. No, you should run far away if it does smell like vanilla.
Right.
So if you were able to find a dead beaver, if you managed to get your hands on it, the entire castor gland can be removed, and it's traditionally preserved by smoking it over a wood fire. So dried beaver castor sacs can easily be mistaken as dried testicles. That's what they look like. They're like the size of a hand. They look like a whole hand. There's two of them.
So not a beaver testicle. How big is a beaver? Beavers aren't that big.
Beavers are huge. Beavers are bigger than Leo. They're huge.
And their testicles are the size of a hand?
They come to like a man's knee. No, it's not testicles.
Okay.
It's the castor sac that gets confused as oh yeah, no, they almost went extinct. We'll get to it. Beavers, yeah, they're huge. They're like halfway up your thigh, and they're not their sacs. They're castor sacs. Once they're dried, can get mistaken for testicles.
Okay.
And so they're literally like, the pictures that I saw of it's like in man hands, not my little tiny baby hands, but man hands, are two like elongated, almost dehydrated looking balls, sacs.
Like
that are the
avocados?
small avocados, but yeah. And yeah,
I thought you meant that's what beaver testicles were. I'm like, do they just drag them around? No wonder they're always in the water.
No, they're in.
So then they at least float. They get a little reprieve. And dragging them through the land. They're like, I'm going to go float again.
That's actually how you find them. They leave a little scent trail with their castor balls.
Can you imagine if their balls were that big and they were floating? Every time they like paddled their tail, they'd smack their own balls? That'd be terrible.
That does sound terrible.
Just whap, whap, whap.
So, the handling after the removal of the castor glands is very important. Apparently, there's like a really thin membrane that protects the glands, and if you damage it during the process, it can lead to a loss of aromatic potency.
Gotta cup the glands.
Yes, they have to cup the glands, and this is all according to Apothecary's Garden, which is like a website that I found that gives you like the entire drying process, and then steps to creating different types of like DIY beaver bum inspired goodies, from like oil all the way to like dried and
just in case you happen upon some.
And in alcohol. Yeah, it's great.
Good.
So based on archaeological evidence, beavers have been a staple in trade since about 5500 BC. And initially, they were hunted for their pelts, meat, and medicinal use of their intestines and the glands that people would use to create beaver oil, a.k.a. the castoreum.
Not castor oil. We've been over this.
Beaver oil. Beaver jerky. Yeah, it got eaten a lot by colonists. So the beaver jerky. I don't know if jerky was in particular, but beaver definitely was eaten by colonists.
Well, I mean, for some reason I thought it was smaller.
No, like, they're huge.
Yeah, I always thought they were like raccoon size.
About maybe a little bit bigger than a raccoon.
Okay.
Yeah, raccoons are bigger than you think too.
Yeah, I guess full-grown ones.
Yeah. So before the arrival of white man, the indigenous people known as the carriers used the beaver oil for medicinal purposes, and then around like circa like 77 BC, we find out we find the first written records of ailments that the beaver oils were used to treat, and eventually this was all recorded by some 12th century naturalist named Pliny the Elder.
Pliny? Mm-hmm. How do you spell Pliny?
Pliny.
Okay.
The Elder.
Just Pliny.
Yep. So he wrote it down in
Pliny the Elder.
Yes.
Raccoons are just fat. Yes, they are trash pandas, and they're, yeah, white people.
Yes.
That's a recurring theme in this podcast. It's usually white men.
Well, white women weren't going out there and hunting anything, but they did use the we'll get to the the castoreum, what they used it for.
Okay.
So Pliny the Elder wrote in his Naturalis Historia of the different uses of castoreum.
I feel like I should use that as a character name next time I create like a character or something.
Pliny the Elder. No one would get it.
No.
So those uses included inducing sneezing. Inducing sneezing. Reducing brain fever when it is combined with rose oil and rubbed all over the head.
Brain fever?
Mm-hmm. Look, that's what it said.
Huh. I wonder if that's like a head cold or like a headache.
No, it's not a headache because they mixed it with different things for headaches.
Brain fever.
Yeah, I think it's just a regular fever. And they just were like, oh, your brain's on fire.
You got a fever?
At least they weren't drilling holes in people's heads like they used to.
Yeah,
they'd be like, oh, we have to let out the pressure.
Yeah.
So it can be used to awaken someone from a coma or women who fainted from hysterics. It was also... What's wrong?
Just swooning. Woo!
Hysterics. My husband won't listen to me.
Could be the corset. I'm just saying.
It could be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was also used to treat a wide variety of ailments when mixed with various other ingredients like water, pennyroyal. Didn't look it up. Don't ask me.
Pennyroyal?
I don't know. I didn't look it up.
Like Royale?
Royal. It said pennyroyal. All one word. And Google didn't correct me, so it's a thing.
Cool.
Shallow dives here.
Yeah,
it can be mixed with honey wine, which is mead.
Delicious.
Yes. And
That'll be my next drink.
Mead? Just want to rub it in?
Yep. It's not gluten-free.
So it can be mixed with a roux, milk, vinegar, poppy juice, etc., etc. It's known to remedy headaches because castoreum contains salicylic acid. Do you know what salicylic acid is? Aspirin.
I know.
Oh, God, I hate you. It could also cure hiccups, vertigo.
I just got to give you some.
I hate you. So it would cure hiccups, vertigo, palsied tremors, cramps, sinew pains, sciatica, stomach troubles, toothaches, and paralysis and epilepsy.
It would cure paralysis?
Yes, it would cure it.
Well, look at it go.
Yeah. It's magical.
Magical butt juice.
So it could be used to, it could also be ingested to help with flatulence, griping, and poisons.
Griping?
Yeah, like your stomach.
Oh, not like just someone who bitches a lot?
Mm-hmm. A little beaver tail usually helps cure my headaches.
I wonder if you can get a beaver's tail like you do a rabbit's foot. Like, can you just get it, like, hang, like, on a keychain?
I would imagine. Oh.
But I bet you they're bigger than I think they are now. Because I would assume they were small, but they're probably, like, fucking this big.
I have a beaver pelt.
Beaver pelt?
Mm-hmm.
But not a beaver tail? Mm-mm. No?
No. I don't know where it's at. I have a pet. So listen, guys. I was a redneck growing up. And my uncle... Side stories. My uncle shot a raccoon that was hanging out in an old shitty truck in the back of my grandma's yard, and they got it. They got it taxidermied. They just had it furred and tanned. Right?
That's not a beaver.
No, this is a raccoon. We're gonna get to it. And I was like 10. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. I was feeling it. I'm like, it's so soft. And so my grandma was like, cool. She likes fur. I'm going to preface this, by the way, with the fact that I have Native American blood in my family. And so they're like super into all of this stuff. And so she gave me, Amy, oh no.
My dad does hate woodchucks. You're not wrong.
That was a comment in the thing.
Yeah.
In the chat. For those who are listening back.
When you listen to this, I want everything to be out of context.
I hope it's FOMO and everybody's like, we should do this again next time and actually watch them live.
Right.
And so they wound up accumulating fur. And I had a coyote fur, this little deer fur, and one of them was a beaver pelt. And it's very soft.
Don't you have it? I think it's still here somewhere.
The beaver pelt?
Yeah.
No, they're in a bag at my dad's house somewhere because we would have a whole stack of them, like a stack of furs like this thick. The coyote was like 5 foot long. It was nuts. And then, again, redneck, we had a dog who liked to hunt moles, and he dug one out one day and killed it. And my grandma was like, let's try to tan it. And we did. And I have it still in that bag where we tanned the mole. Oh, my God, you guys.
we grew up very differently.
Does that make you a furry?
Yes, it does. Not well. No, I don't want to be guilt by association. She's not a furry. No.
Now my ears are really hot after talking about that terrible story.
Fur enthusiast. It's more inclusive.
So yeah, that's a fun story about me growing up. And we moved back to this town. I'm really upset. About it.
Yeah. It'll all start to make sense the more these stories come out. How we got here.
So now that we're fully sidetracked, let's get back on track.
Also, we did notice before the podcast started, we didn't mean to wear the podcast colors, but we sure as hell did. Mm-hmm. And then we sat down. I was like, oh, look, we like matched the bar thing at the bottom.
Look at us go.
Yep.
It was an accent.
Happy accident.
Because we own 3 colors, and these are 2 of them.
Yeah, it was this or gray.
Yeah. So it cures all those things. It could also be ingested to help with flatulence, griping, which is like upset, like gas, like bloating, stomach issues. Yes. And poisons. It can also help with scorpions and spider bites, bites from horned asps, which are snakes.
Yep.
And mistletoe poisoning.
I didn't realize mistletoe was poisonous.
Me neither. Didn't know it until now.
That's a fun Christmas tradition we got going.
Yep. And it
Let's
could be
hang poison over our lovers. It's normal.
It is. Just ask every lover pre like 1920. So it could also be mixed with poppy juice and poured into the ears for earaches.
That's what we're calling Sprite from now on, by the way.
Poppy juice. This is our poppy juice.
It's not soda. It's poppy juice.
And then beaver urine was also thought to be an antidote for poisons and was preserved in milk.
I'm going to type so it doesn't make...
It was also a featured ingredient in the ancient Roman elixir called Caesar's or Kaiser, if you're
a hard
John.
C.
Yeah.
He's like, there's no soft C's in Rome. Yeah.
So
his name would have been Kaiser.
Kaiser's antidote, which helps ease menstrual pains, and this is where the women use comes in, and it was claimed to induce abortions.
Induce?
Okay. Yeah. Like start. Like, here,
we should have made a list of what it didn't help treat. Jamie claims we need a deep dive next Christmas on the mistletoe poisoning thing.
We should. I don't know if you could get a deep dive into just a plant, but we can try. So it wasn't compared to vanilla until after the 1520s, when Europe was finally introduced to the vanilla orchid that Hernan Cortez brought over from the Aztecs. So Europe, the UK and stuff, didn't have vanilla. They didn't know what it was. And so it was one of the many spices that was brought back.
Shocking.
So they just knew that that it smelled good. They were like, oh, this smells delicious. And then someone brought a plant back and was like, oh my God, this smells exactly the same.
I've heard the UK is really known for their exquisite flavors and a lot of seasonings. So when you say they don't have vanilla, I mean, think of the tea. They conquered
a whole world. Like, literally, it was for spices. Like, that was what they were doing. They went to India. That's why the United States exists, because they wanted to try to find a way to get to India faster so they could increase their trade, and literally bumped into this whole other half of the world.
Get that turmeric train going.
Yeah.
I don't know if I said that right.
Turmeric?
I said turmeric.
Close enough.
Where's the R? Is it before the M?
Turmeric. It's after it. It's Tumeric.
There's a bug in our house. It's going to come in front of the camera.
Oh, God.
There it is.
Oh, no.
Get out of here.
It's very Boondock Saints-esque. You know, the scene with the moth.
As long as the cat doesn't walk behind us.
No. No, he's black, too. Oh, no.
That's a very obscure Boondock Saints reference.
Oh, I laughed out loud in the movie theaters, too. That was embarrassing.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't compared to vanilla, like I said, until after the 1520s. So most white people just liked the smell of the beaver butt juice, but before they even knew what vanilla was. But there is a chance...
Smell this ass.
So there is a chance that indigenous people...
It's like when people make you smell their babies. Have you smelled newborn babies? Smell it.
Newborn babies smell really
good. Smell this ass.
But they're genetic, not genetically, evolutionally, we're designed to like the smell of babies so that we can smell
beaver ass.
Them.
What's up with that?
And beaver butt. Yep. And so, but there is a chance that indigenous people did put two and two together, because if you look at maps, they actually have they show where beavers lived and where the vanilla orchid grew, and they kind of they overlap.
Intermingle
so they're
bit.
Oh, there is a chance that people that were exposed to both put two and two together and this beaver smells like this plant.
I didn't realize vanilla was an orchid, like the plant.
I suppose I didn't either.
Where the pod comes from.
Yeah. The more you know. Michigan has an orchid.
I know.
It's the lady slipper. We know where's some growing. We're not telling any of you, because I'm pretty sure that Russian would kill us.
Yeah. From our mushroom
excursion. So as a flavor additive...
Yeah, no more vanilla extract. It is beaver butt wannabe juice.
Yes.
Yep.
So as a flavor additive, Castoreum wasn't used until the early 20th century. So at this point, it was literally just used for medicinal purposes.
Yeah, head fever.
Yes, and perfume.
Okay.
Which we'll get to. So as a flavor additive, Castoreum wasn't used until the early 20th century. The food industry turned to the perfume industry to look for better flavoring agents, because it's cheaper to use artificial vanilla than it is to use real vanilla, and it tasted too fake. So they were like, we need something that can improve...
Round it off a little
bit. The flavor of the artificial vanilla. And Castoreum was just what they were looking for. It was never used as a direct replacement for vanilla flavoring, but to give it a better, more of a kick.
A depth.
Yes, to give the impression that it was real vanilla and not just a chemical. And because it's naturally derived.
The good old days when they didn't want it to taste like a chemical.
Yeah.
They're like, put Ace K in it.
Tell me more. I really want to hear
Do you
about
want me to go
how
on a
it
sweetener
affects
deep
your insulin receptors.
Let's go on an insulin. Can I tell you something terrible about... Never mind.
Insulin?
No. I was just going to go on like a food additive bashing deep dive, but that'll be a fun bonus pod, so just kidding. We would never
Riveting,
do that.
really. So because it's
As
naturally...
I drink energy drinks every day that have...
all of it.
Yeah, every sweetener you can come up with.
So because Castoreum is naturally derived, the FDA allows Castoreum to be listed as natural flavoring on an ingredient label if it is used as flavoring agent. So word got around that beavers make delicious tasting and smelling butt juice, so it also became staple in the cigarette industry as well.
What?
Yes. So Castoreum was used to
I did not
dust.
think we were going to go there.
Yeah. Castoreum was used to dust tobacco to give it a more luxurious flavor. And that's why tobacco has like a vanilla hint to it, because that's added to it.
Okay, so not like chewing tobacco. You're talking like
no,
cigarettes?
all of it. Chewing, all of it.
Huh.
Every single aspect of it. Because 8 pounds of Castoreum could flavor 400 billion cigarettes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. A little bit goes a long way.
Okay, so they're not like going to go extinct solely because of the...
Because of the
cigarette,
Castoreum?
Yeah.
No. There's lots of other things we need to worry about with the cigarette
I
industry.
feel like if you get like a candle that's tobacco, it's always tobacco and like vanilla.
Mm-hmm. And that's why.
Yeah,
it really rounds it out and gives it like a smoother, more luxurious taste.
Full-bodied.
Yep. So the tiny amount of Castoreum needed to get the job done didn't stop beavers from being hunted to near extinction. During the Middle Ages, beavers truly were hunted across all of Europe to extinction. So when white people made it over here, they were super pumped. And when they made it, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, look at all these beavers here!" And so the demand for beaver pelt and meat and Castoreum skyrocketed again once the North America was discovered. And they were also...
Did Native Americans use beavers?
Yeah.
For this, or did they not?
Yeah, no, they did use it for medicinal uses, but it wasn't like this extensive,
and
it wasn't used for food or anything. It was literally just medicine.
They didn't like put it in their muffins?
Mm-mm.
Shocking.
Yep. And so the beavers were yet again hunted until the near extinction. And then in 1894, a representative of the Hudson Bay Company, so like Canada, like up here, like Hudson, like this actual region, Hudson Bay. Okay.
Give me all the geography.
Yep.
I know where Canada is.
Yep. In regards to the rapidly shrinking beaver population, he said, quote, "The beaver's days are numbered. He cannot coexist with civilization." Okay. And this is a representative of the company that literally did fur trading. Fun, huh?
Fill that yawn void, sorry.
You gonna make it?
Yeah. Shoveled a lot of snow the last 2 days.
So the nail in the Castoreum's coffin as a food additive was kosher law. So Castoreum can't be certified as a kosher ingredient.
Okay.
So it wound up reducing its uses quite a bit, and so then it reduced the demand, and so people were no longer killing
vegan
beavers.
Either, so.
No, yeah, exactly.
Nowadays.
So it's still considered.
I bet you more people are vegan than are kosher. Granted, we also live in like the least Jewish, densely populated area in the world. I'm pretty sure.
You say that, but we also like don't actually know anybody who's Jewish. I really don't think I do.
Yeah, I know people with like Jewish descent, but they're not actively Jewish.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'm gonna sound ignorant, but where do Jewish people worship? Temple?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know of a Jewish temple. Like, there's probably Ann Arbor.
In Detroit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, yeah. Keeping kosher is super hard.
Hey, look. We do know a Jew.
Nope. No, we don't.
Not a Jew-ish. Like, heavy emphasis on the ish.
That's why your last name is Michael. Michelle? Michael.
Oh, there it is.
See? Did I do that right? I don't even know if that's right, or I'm Jew with a side of bacon. Okay.
So it's a very Howard Wolowitz of you.
Yes.
it's been reduced because it can't be kosher.
Like to mark where you are.
Nah, it doesn't really matter. I lost it before then. So it's still considered generally safe by the FDA, though you can still purchase like products that tout the use of castoreum. So there is still a very small market for it.
I was about to make that joke, Jamie. That's why you guys are getting married, just so you know how to say her name. Aw, Goldberg.
Oh.
That's a Mighty Ducks reference.
Is it?
When he farts in the limousine.
Sure.
Goldberg.
That sounds like something you would do.
I mean, who wouldn't? I was never on a real sports team, but if I was. I'm hyphenating anyway.
Ugh, what a feminist.
So you have two names that are both hard. Are you Shirey Michelle?
Her name goes first.
Oh, sorry. Mm-hmm. Then they'll be like, yeah, just all the first names. Anywho, I digress.
So look at me. I'm like, ooh, she's being a feminist. And I'm like, no. Female names go first.
Well, keep it in the OG. We were proud and we were. I played church basketball 2 nights ago. That's how I broke my nose, was playing church basketball.
And he dislocated a finger and a shoulder from playing church basketball.
Yeah, it's still as football-ish as usual.
I think it's
It's rugby. You just don't know how to play rugby, really.
I think it's God's way of telling him to get the fuck out of that gym.
Yeah,
don't come back. We don't want you here.
Every injuries happen on the same half of the same court in the same gym.
Either that or somehow they like opened a portal to hell and they don't know it.
Something.
Yeah. And this is why I shouldn't be allowed back.
I have 4 first name sounding names.
Oh, that's going to be fun. Can't wait. So anyway, there are still products that you can purchase that tout the use of castoreum, like whiskey that's made by a place called Tamworth Distilling in New Hampshire. And it's a whiskey. It's called A du Musc.
Aid?
Like parfum, like the A du Musc.
Oh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's a whiskey you can get from here, made in the United States.
You didn't order us some?
No, I should have.
Vicks didn't have it?
Doubtful. This is way too bougie for Vicks.
Wait, rugby is hard? Just wait till the bachelorette party? You guys are playing rugby at your bachelorette party? I'm so confused.
What? I don't think I want to go anymore. No.
I don't think those two go together. I wasn't paying attention to when they popped up.
So, just kidding. I will go. I just will sit on the sidelines and be like, woo, sports. So
I don't think you're playing rugby to bachelorette party.
No. So now castoreum is mainly used in the perfume industry, but in like your more expensive perfumes.
She says it'll be pole.
Oh no. I'm gonna break an ankle.
She'll have to start training.
So anyway, and it and this has only been exclusively used like in the perfume industry for the most part for the last like 80 years. So
what was the company? Hudson. What was the company that made the
Tamworth Distilling?
All right, I'm gonna get us a price. I'm gonna say $70.
So, castoreum hasn't really been used a lot in food over the last 80 years. So when people are freaking out about vanilla extract being like from beaver butts, it really hasn't been prominent in the last 80 years. So it's okay.
Beaver butts. What was it called? Eau de Musc. There it is.
Yeah. Did you find it?
I did find it. It's 88 proof. Where to buy? You have to go there.
Yep.
Seal box. I don't know.
I don't know. Is that $65?
Are you 21? Sure.
Yes.
Just agree.
Tamworth Barrel Reserve Floral Gin. Oh, it's sold out.
I can't find.
Based on there's a page 2.
No, it's. Oh no, this is 2 of 2. Back.
Where's page 1?
Back. This is good content. Oh, Eau de Musc, $65.
That's not that. I mean,
this
it's not as expensive as I thought it was going to be.
$250.
Jesus H Christ.
Actually, so to be prepared to for the poll thing. Actually, we're just going to get you guys vanilla whiskey for your wedding gift. So that's on the. Just kidding.
So it's mainly used in the perfume industry, but in your more expensive perfumes, like I said, it's been over 80 years since we've really heavily used it in the food industry. So don't worry, most of your vanilla flavor stuff is still fake, not beaver butt. So its purpose.
Wait, is my Aldi's vanilla extract not beaver butt?
No. No.
So disappointed.
So the purpose of castoreum in perfume is that it's a fixative, which increases the staying power of fragrance and then also increases the overall good, pleasant smells. So there's about 300 pounds of castoreum harvested and used each year. Still.
340 pounds?
300 pounds. Like slightly less than about 300 pounds a year.
8 pounds of which go to the cigarette industry?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know if it's still actively going to the cigarette industry, but I would assume so.
Can you raise domesticated beavers and milk them?
I don't know.
Because that would be the most adorable place to work in the world.
Wouldn't it? Just squeezing the bums of beavers and it just smells delicious instead of like concentrated cat poop.
More likely, like once a year, you just knock them all the fuck out and then take a syringe and suck it all out of them. But yeah, you can think you're milking them and it's all cute and they're frolicking in the flowers.
No, you do have to anesthetize them because they're not fans of getting their butts squeezed.
Way to use your big words. Knock them out wasn't good enough for you?
Nope.
Anesthetize them.
So castoreum is not the only gross animal thing that we use in our foods and smelly things. In perfume, we also use things called musk pods, which is the pituitary glands
come through.
Yep. Look at
Don't
you
ask
and
me to spell
look at
it.
you and your big words.
Pituitary.
Gland sac, which is under the abdomen, like inside under the skin in the abdomen of a male musk deer.
Okay.
So musk pods.
Not a muskrat.
Mm-mm.
I was hoping you'd say
muskrat. We're gonna get not a muskrat, a mongoose. So
those they start with an M.
Yep.
No, it's not the same thing.
And they're both animals. I went to college. So
that's how that works.
So ambergris, which is lumps of oxidized fatty compounds secreted by the head of sperm whales. It's allegedly one of the few animal products that's still used because it can be harvested humanely from the whales. Secreted. Yeah, they have like a thing on their head that they just
ooze liquid out of
it that smells good. And we use it in perfume still today.
Okay. Just some sperm whale.
I don't know what it smells like.
Sperm whale seepage.
Mm-hmm. Sperm whale seepage.
Okay.
Yep.
There's no jokes to be made, everyone. Just move along.
Yep. And so then we can use civet, which is like a kind of cat. Nope, this is the mongoose thing. It's obtained from the odorous sacs of civets, which is a member of the mongoose family.
I have no idea what a civet is, but okay.
It's some weird-looking mongoose cat thing. And then you use musk, which is derived from a gland located between the genitals and umbilicus, which I think is like a belly button.
It is.
Of the Himalayan male musk deer.
Okay.
So that's what's in our perfumes. Like the expensive ones that aren't like fake.
Not Adidas Moves. Mm-mm. That's the OG.
Yeah, it is. I used to have the female Adidas Moves. My mom and dad, I got it for Christmas.
I remember that's all the middle school locker room smelled like. Like when you first had to start taking gym class, it just
before Axe came out.
Axe body spray.
Yep.
Thanks. Oh fuck! Hold on. Chet. See,
look at
I remember
go.
names.
And then most of the stuff that I saw for food was like hella clickbaity. Like you saw a lot of stuff that was like viruses in your food, and it's like, no, fuck off. It's a bacteriophage. Like I'd rather have a bacteriophage. It's literally only there to kill bacteria than like die of salmonella poisoning. Like, guys, calm the fuck down.
Go either way.
Like 2% of like looking into what a bacteriophage is. Instead, they're like, viruses are in your food. Yeah, this virus is for bacteria, not us. And like you saw a lot of stuff that was like you also have. Was
this out of the mongoose ass or sack?
No.
Okay.
This is like, so I was trying to find other gross things that were in food, and a lot of them were like viruses and like saltwater injections and all these things. Like one of them was like propylene glycol is in antifreeze. Yeah, water's in antifreeze too. You need a preservative, otherwise you're gonna die from like mold. I can't. So a lot of this stuff was a lot of clickbaity bullshit, but I did find some interesting things, like gelatin, which, in case you didn't know, I'm assuming is, but I'm an asshole.
It's not vegan.
No, it's not, because general knowledge about gelatin is that it's made from boiled animal skin and cartilage. Mm-hmm. So if you didn't know, now you know.
The more you know.
Yep. And then carmine, which is a common bright red color additive, is made from crushing up the carcasses of an insect called a cochineal.
A what?
A cochineal?
Cochineal?
Cochineal? I don't know. It's a tiny little bug.
Cochineal?
And they make and you crush up the shells.
Okay.
They're from South and Central America, and it makes red.
Crush up the cocking, y'all, and you'll get red.
Yep.
Okay. Cool.
And then also like fish bladders, traditionally from sturgeons here in the Great Lakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this where purple comes from?
No, this is now they use them from other fish, but this is to help
Isn't dried
filter.
fish where the color purple used to come from?
Yes, like rotten
Like
fish.
petrified fish?
Yeah.
That's
No, it wasn't. It was rotten fish.
Oh, yeah. That's why rich people had it or whatever.
Yeah, because it was really hard to make purple.
See, I know some things.
Useless things.
Just chime in with some useful.
So fish bladders nowadays are traditionally used to help filter.
What is the whale stuff called again?
The whale stuff.
Algae? Bourgeois?
I wrote it down. Hold on.
Where
did I throw my paper?
Oh, no.
I threw my papers. It starts with an A. Aborigines? That's not right.
Algene? Borgues?
Nope.
Burgius?
It is.
Are you
called,
talking
oh my God! It's literally. I didn't even throw this one on the ground. It's literally right in front of me.
What is it?
It is ambergris. So it's amber.
I got you.
Like AMBER.
When they explode, that stuff comes out. Ambergris? Ambergris. Cool. I can type things.
Why are whales exploding? Oh.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, ambergris. Yeah, I don't actually know what it smells like.
Wait, how does a whale explode? Oh, they wash up and blow. Oh, like on the shore?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then
there's a dollop
about that?
About a whale that they blew up because they couldn't know how they could move it. And so they blew it up.
Cool. It actually smells bad. And they're trying to smell. That makes sense. I wouldn't assume anything when a whale exploded would smell good, like any of the parts.
But apparently it can be humanely harvested like off of the surface of the whale, so they're fine with using that.
Yeah.
It's not as bad.
You just coax a sperm whale enough and the juice comes out.
If you gently rub it enough, eventually it comes out.
Yes.
So anyway.
Just backpedal away from that one.
So the
also, this
fish
is just
bladders,
straight vanilla vodka at this point.
Oh.
The little bit I diluted it down is just gone.
So,
still good, but very much vodka.
We need to she said you can refill it and
yeah, so this is like the thing we got. It's just like 6 vanilla beans, and then you put vodka in it, and they seal it for 2 months. And
it's not actually vanilla beans, it's just sliced beaver tail.
Yes.
Yes.
That's what we need.
Yep. Sliced beaver tail.
Yep.
Fried up real nice. So fish bladders, going back to the whole point of this, fish bladders are used to help filter like wine and Guinness to make it clearer and remove like any particles in it. So those are some fun, gross things I found out.
Fish bladders are?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Which I learned from like listening to Wine and Crime that you have to be really careful about. That's how the sperm whale got its name. Yes, gently coaxing out the ambergris. So you have to be people that are truly vegan, like especially for the moral reasons behind it. You have to find wine that's marked vegan because a lot of them are ran through fish bladder.
Huh.
Or like an animal type skin to
purify.
Yeah.
I would not have guessed that.
Yep.
Like it's wine. Of course, it's vegan.
I know a lot of useless shit that doesn't matter.
You do.
Yep. So that's what I wrote down.
Did you want to hammer out the sources real quick? So for the audio version of this, we can wrap it up easier.
Sure. So I used National Geographic article, Beaver Butts emit goo used for vanilla flavoring, mentalfloss.com article, A Brief History of Castoreum. I cannot... Some random ass website that I hope was legit because he seemed like a really good historian. This might be one of the sketchiest sources that I've used, and I used some really sketchy sources when we did the new what was the prison? New Metal's the only thing that can come to my mind, but that's not right.
The prison?
The prison. Newgate. The Newgate prison.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's DCisoencerbator.nl. Our computer might have a virus. No, nothing popped up. It didn't pop up with the little like security thing, and the guy, he seemed really legit. He had like sources down at the bottom and stuff, and
so he's Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so the name of that article was Question: Who discovered a beaver's anal glands taste like vanilla? And then I used an article from thetakeout.com. What is Castoreum and why is it in my food? And then MSN.com. You eat these disgusting ingredients every day without knowing it. And then I used Apothecary's Garden and Wikipeda.
Nice.
Those are my sources.
It took one weirdo to find that out. Happy accident. So I was eating this beaver's ass the other day. And I swear to God, it tastes like fucking vanilla. I don't know why he's from Boston, but that's just where he's from.
Yep.
I knew I was going to swear, so I just thought I'd lay it on.
That's
I mean, it was New Englandy at the time.
And there's kind of where the beavers are at, like Hudson Bay and stuff. God, that looks really bad.
The gluten allergy's real.
Yeah.
But anyway.
It's healing, though, so.
It was. Mm-hmm. That was a nice palate cleanser from all the sharks dying the last 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Those have been pretty fucking depressing.
Beavers were also hunted to near extinction.
Like Thank you. That's what I was going for.
A beaver.
It was like backwoodsy New England.
Yeah.
Like a guy that you wouldn't trust, like he's missing at least 4 teeth, but he's like...
But like back teeth, so you can't really tell.
A palate cleanser, yeah. The way vanilla does, between courses.
They use coffee to cleanse palates, so why not
Do they?
beaver ass?
I always thought they used like white grapes or green grapes. I don't know why that's like
grapes
I don't know why that's
horrible.
like the first thing on the front of my mind. I'm probably making that shit up hardcore.
I could also be making up the coffee thing, but I think the coffee you use when you're smelling stuff, and it like clears your like sense of smell instead.
Isn't there a monkey or something that makes tasty poo too?
Is there?
There's
There's an animal that eats coffee beans and then they make coffee from it.
Yeah, the shit coffee. Is that a monkey?
No, I don't think it's a monkey. It's not a bird, but it is a 4-legged thing with fur. That's about as much information as I can get you.
Kookaburra.
This is not a kookaburra. No, a kookaburra is a bird.
It's a forest rodent. Oh, so it might be a kookaburra.
Oh, okay. Hold on. It's not a kookaburras are birds.
Or what's not chupacabra?
Yes, it's actually a chupacabra.
What's the
a cryptid eats my coffee.
What's the big fucking rodent thing?
A capybara?
Capybara. See, I was close. Chupacabra, capybara, whatever. That's pretty much it.
One's just a big lumpy rat with hoofs, and the other one eats roosters.
Yeah, like decapitates your chicken. Chupacabra tastes scary. Yeah. It's like that Death Wish coffee, except it's just got a chicken like missing a head on the label. Exactly.
It's a very dark roast coffee.
Yes.
Oh, okay, now I have to find out what the animal
that shits coffee beans.
Animal
Shits
that
coffee.
eats coffee beans.
Coffee beans. There you go. What's the?
It is.
What is it?
It's a civet.
A civet. Oh, that's you talked about that earlier.
It's a civet. Captive civets are sometimes fed only coffee. It's a mongoose family like type thing. Captive civets are sometimes fed only coffee cherries, the fruit that produces coffee beans. Oh, that's really sad.
That's
so it's
all
an
they're
Asian, captive ones, like specifically.
So their whole life is just here, eat a cherry, and then we're gonna pick your shit up.
It's Kopi Luwak is made from coffee beans plucked from a civet's feces. This is bad news for civets. Yep, I would say so. Cat-like creature. Yeah.
We need to.
But that's related to the mongoose.
We need to start a movement for civet rights. No.
Instead of civil rights.
Thank you.
God, I hate you.
Thank you. It's like past 10 o'clock. You know the jokes have a steep drop off once 10 o'clock gets
They
here.
really do.
All right. Anyway.
Okay.
I'm going to stop this audio recording.
Oh, good. Well, thanks for joining us, guys.
Yeah. Sounds like life with cats. You feed them, yes, but don't make coffee out of that shit.
Yeah, don't pick anything out of that and try to make coffee
Otherwise
out of it.
Otherwise, you'll get whatever. What's the
toxoplasmosis? Yeah. Which only fun fact. So because goddamn, I listen to so many fucking podcasts that it's stupid and I sound like a know-it-all.
Look how big this
is
makes
why
my ear
Hermione
look.
is my like spirit animal.
I'm gonna put this back.
So
sniffy cat piss.
So toxoplasmosis ends its life cycle inside of humans. So like cats ideally don't want us to get toxoplasmosis, like that bacteria or virus or whatever it is doesn't want to attack humans because it ends in our life cycle. There's no way to continue to pass it on. Where toxoplasmosis, the virus or bacteria, whatever it is more geared toward things like rodents, because it will literally take over a rodent's brain and make it attracted to the smell of cat urine. And so then the cat would attack the rodent that is infected with toxoplasmosis. The cat would get infected with it. The cat would pee it out. The rodent will come in contact with the feces and then it's just a cycle. And so humans aren't technically supposed to be part of that cycle. We just get it because we have cats inside of our house.
Because we domesticated things.
Yep, and I know a lot of stupid shit that doesn't matter.
No, that was great.
It was riveting content. I hate you so much.
It was very on point with the rest of the,
Tacoplasmosis? Yes, it's tacoplasmosis.
That's what happens after Taco Tuesday.
Beth, if you want, have you found This Podcast Will Kill You yet? Because it's awesome. They do a whole big episode on toxoplasmosis.
They are Satanists, so just,
That's Last Podcast Will Kill You, not this podcast.
Oh, sorry.
No, sorry. That's last podcast on, oh my Lord.
Last podcast on the
left.
left.
Podcast on the left is Satanists. This Podcast Will Kill You are epidemiologists. I see why you would get them
They're
confused.
pretty much, the same.
Same thing.
It's just a synonym.
We're going to call all this out in the audio podcast, right?
No. We're going to release just an hour of chaos.
It's really good. I really like it.
Are they from Michigan?
No. I don't know where they're from.
What's the one you listen to that's Michigan people? That was...
There's a couple of them. There's...
Isn't there one with two people? Oh, no, I don't even know where. Anyway.
The Dead Time... It's not Dead Time Stories. Shoot.
Cinnamon? Oh, synonyms. Gotcha. I was like, wait, what? I'm in for some Satan.
So let me pull up my Spotify here.
Nope.
So there's one that I just found if you wanted to take a break from true crime, or like things kind of like a positive spin, if there aren't any Michiganders listening, is the Great Lakes Confidential, and then
we don't have a Twitter. It's very disappointing.
They don't have a Twitter?
No.
Weird. Who doesn't have a Twitter?
I assume they're old because they don't have a Twitter.
And then the other Michigan one that I listen to that's exclusively Michigan, and this one's more like it's true crime and like some really crazy stuff. I'm trying to find it and fill the void, and it's not working.
You're doing great. This is good content.
So good. Oh my God, where is it at?
Crime Junkies.
No, Crime Junkies is not. They're from Indiana. So Dead.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Who listens to podcasts for happy and positive info? I have to sometimes. Speaking of palate cleansers, I can't go like dark all day every day. Stresses me out.
Yeah, I've taken a break with a lot of music now more often than I have in a long time. But So Dead is the one that's Michigan based, and it started out as her and a friend, and then she got busy with life, so now it's just one. But it's really funny. And
if you notice when we do the bonus pods, they're not dark and terrible. Well, sometimes they got like dark elements, but I'm like, I can't.
There was that one with the chick that was super fascinating.
Yeah, but I can't like read about that much heavy like I don't know how she does it every week, where I'm like, I read like 2 articles about like people dying and shit. I'm like, oh, this is a fucking bummer. Now I got to talk about it for an hour.
I'm really good at disassociating.
That's true. So. Yeah, and you find the interesting elements within it too. But
I would think that you would find it more interesting too, because Am I the Asshole? There's a whole podcast that does Am I the Asshole too.
I'm with you, Jamie. It's the animal ones where there's like the victim is like this helpless creature. Those are the fucking worst ones. Especially
when it's like a helpless creature and you can fix the problem, but like we live in a society where you just can't. Like the full lack of control is really hard to handle.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Thanks for listening, watching, whatever you did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you've made it this far.
Congrats. What's weird is, so when Two Hot Takes is one of my...
Yes, that one, Two Hot Takes. That one's really good.
I'm more of a hot cakes person. I love pancakes. Just kidding. That's a bad joke. It's weird because we release a podcast and then for like a week we just watch like listens trickle in. When you're doing this, the whole viewer count thing is like, it's so different. I don't know how I feel about it.
Something Was Wrong was really good. Actually, so Something Was Wrong, I had somebody friend request me and message me about how that podcast, like, they're like, oh my God, your podcast has changed my life. And I was like, oh no, this is the wrong Tiffany Reese. Because I Google, so, because you get curious and you're like, I'm going to Google myself. And I hadn't done it since I was in like high school. And then her podcast popped up first. And then I listened to it. And yeah, that one, Something Was Wrong is a really good one.
That's also why our podcast artist is Scott and Tiffany Reese, just because I want those extra Google searches.
A little shameless plugging.
Or those Facebook searches. Yeah, we're all for the shameless plugging.
Yeah, Something Was Wrong is a really good one too. I've got so many that like are not healthy to listen to. I really like the CBC one with David Ridgen, where he I can't even remember what that one's called. The first episode was of a little boy who just, like, first season. He's a journalist. He actually helped solve a murder here in the United States.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, back in the 70s. There was, like, they were dredging the Mississippi River for, like, a different body, and they found a black guy, and they were, like, they just kind of literally cast him to the side. They're like, we don't know. This guy is just a missing person that we don't know. And then he was curious about it, and then he actually, like, he helped solve it. It was crazy. It was a KKK.
Sounds about white.
Yeah, it was a KKK murder, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really crazy. Yep. God, what's that one called? Somebody Knows Something. That's what it's called.
You told me about that.
Yeah,
one.
Somebody Knows Something.
I don't have to listen to podcasts because she just gives me I come home from work and she's like, I listened to 3 podcasts today. Here's everything I learned.
Yeah, and this is literally like why we started the podcast, because I would be like, oh, this really horrible thing that I heard today, and he has to listen to it, and so I thought, why not?
I need to find a podcast you don't listen to use that as motivation for, like, the bonus pods.
Good luck.
That's true.
No, there's a lot of them.
I've listened to that.
Oh, Someone Knows Something? Yeah, it's a good one. It's like high value, like, production and stuff too, because it's like the CBC.
So it's like ours.
Yes.
It's edited meticulously.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he's got
I take out every and pause.
Well, he doesn't have ums and pauses because he's a journalist. He's like actually like
he's
a professional.
He's just in front of a mic reading from a script.
Yeah, no, he does interviews, and there's always like crunching gravel and like swinging doors and dogs barking and stuff. It's amazing.
I mean, I could I would just make all the sound effects.
You are very good at sound effects.
So that would be, that'd be so time consuming.
It would be.
I'd have to be getting paid.
No. Slave labor, like your roof over your head, is that good enough? I'm going to let you live here.
NPR has some fire podcasts.
Yeah, so that's actually how I got into podcasts was I would have to drive to Ann Arbor for like 5 days a week for school. And I got sick of listening to like music, and I could only stand listening. Like, I love Harry Potter, but after like 4 months of it straight, you're like, I'm done. Like, this is too much Harry Potter. And so I started listening to NPR like an old lady. And I would find like, so like Wait, Don't Tell Me, and like the Radio Hour and the Moth and all that stuff. I was like, and I'd get to class and I'd be like, well, shit, now I can't finish listening to this, or I'd get home and can't finish listening to it. And so I remember when they mentioned they had an app, NPR One, and I was like, cool, I can like listen to the shit that I want to catch up on. And then I found MFM, and then I found Last Podcast on the Left, and then I was like, then I found the Dollop, which apparently, unbeknownst to me until I got to that episode, I'd already heard the episode about Action Park.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, it's full circle. I love this stuff. And now it's 6 years later, we have our own podcast.
We do.
And it's everywhere.
And we've done
actually only
our
like
78th episode, 77th?
77th, maybe?
Something like that. It's a lot.
I think they say only like a third of the population really listens to podcasts religiously, and the average person listens to 5 to 6 podcasts.
Huh.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
It's all the facts you need.
Right? Our audience is slowly building.
Yeah.
I find that encouraging.
I am insufferable with the stupid shit that I know. It's just dumb. I hate it.
Yeah,
so
just be a lump and stop talking. Just kidding. Anyway.
I'm getting anxious. It's nice because we can actually like carry on. Conversations, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have to cut it all out, but
just leave it all. I listen to way more. Yeah, well, you guys both listen.
Yes.
You're like, oh, yeah, I've heard all 14 you've mentioned. I listened to all of them. I listened to 2 podcasts. Well, I kind of listen to, super good. And Scott looks very moisturized. Thank you. I have a skincare routine. She's an esthetician. That's her job.
Mm-hmm. I don't look moisturized because I have makeup on. You only listen to 3. What are the other 2 you listen to?
I listen to music, personally, and the Dollop and Wine and Crime. I have a long commute. She works in the backyard, so I don't know what her excuse is. I like how he's like, oh, you're super smart and have all this good info. He looks moisturized. Hey, sports are good.
Yay, sports.
Yeah, I listen to the Dollop. James, if you haven't listened to the Dollop, it's historic.
You would love it.
It's American history by these 2 comedians, and
you got to take the first little bit like with a grain of salt though, because they are comedians that no one is off the table. And some of their comedy, because they started in the podcast game like super early, like they're one of the originals. And so they started really early, so a lot of their comedy can be really rough at first. And you just got to kind of get through that and be like, okay, well, it's early 2000s comedy, and this is what everybody joked about. And then it gets better. And, yeah, they're really good. They're really good.
They do sports ones. Like the Rube is like one of the greatest ones.
I think Dave is a sports guy.
He's
a sports guy.
I think he's sports adjacent. Yeah, he's sports familiar.
Yeah. And it's really similar, like, to ours because, not similar. We slightly stole the idea. But a lot of people do this where they read stories to each other, and that's just what you do. But they're actual comedians that
you'll be good. Yeah.
Yeah. Oof, early 2000s comedy. Yeah, the first few you got to get through, but by like episode like 10, they're less raunchy. But it's a no holds bar. Everybody gets made fun of equally, and it's just it's good. I really like the Dollop.
Sorry, I was just looking at all the stuff Twitch tells you about your thing.
Yeah, it's one of the reasons why like I already like leaned to the left and was like angry about the whole world, and then I started listening to the Dollop, and I was like, oh my god,
be angry at everybody.
Dave is my spirit animal. And then I found ones that were even more angering, more triggering, and just got worse from there.
Also, our daughter has given our cat catnip like 6 days in a row, and dude is fucking tripping balls over here. Can you go grab him? Look at him. He looks out of his goddamn mind.
I pet him for a full 2 seconds earlier before he even realized that I was touching him.
Yeah, he is just bonkers out of... And this is how we ended the last one, so I feel like it's a fitting way to end every live. It's just giant cat on stream. Look at his...
Look at how big his pupils are.
He's just gone. Yeah, he's a cutie, but he's like 27 pounds of cutie or whatever.
Oh, the belly. He's literally covered in it.
He's also a teenager.
It's everywhere. No, he's an old man.
Yeah, Lily gave him, or she gave him them catnip one day, and now it's like every snow day. She's like, I'm just going to fucking season them like it's oregano on a pasta dish. Yeah. They'll be fine.
She's had 3 days off of school, so I have cat hair everywhere. She's had 3 days off of school
he's
now.
He's not Maine Coon. What is he? Norwegian mountain cat?
Yeah. So like Maine Coons have like longer faces and more prominent like cheekbones and like the little tufts on the top of their ears. But if you look up Norwegian forest cats, they have more of that triangle face and the like tufts that come out this way. Giant. So I think that's more what he has is that Norwegian forest cat.
Yeah. We have the spirit cat of Jamie and Beth.
Yeah. They're soulmates.
Hold on.
They're secretly soulmates.
You got fur all over the mic. It's everywhere. All right. Anywho, I got to go to bed because I'm old and I get up early for work.
He does. And I have to shovel more fucking snow
smoke some cat into myself and be a Norwegian forest cat. Nothing. Hey, we don't judge. It's just hard to do a podcast like that.
It is.
Hey, no problem. Appreciate it, chat. We're gonna probably do these semi-regularly.
Yeah, it's just trying to get our like shit together to try to plan it.
We're gonna do a Hot Ones tribute one of these times too. Mm-hmm. If you ever watched Hot Ones on YouTube, it's like our like go-to default watch like one episode a night YouTube channel, and we're gonna do something similar where we do like the lineup of hot wings. We have like
we have half their sauces.
I bet you we have 20 hot sauces in our
no, I finished one.
Right
I finished
good. But anyway, we're going to do one like that, I think, next. Maybe this weekend? Maybe. So we're going to do that and then just burn our faces off.
I don't know if we're going to hang out with some friends or not.
Okay. We'll do it one of these weekends.
I may or may not have volunteered ourselves to help them paint, and I haven't heard back.
Terrific. At least there'll be booze and food. All right.
There will be.
So yeah, we appreciate everyone that stopped in and chatted. Sounds spicy. It's okay.
You will cry. Involuntarily
we've
cry.
had the last dab, their hottest one, and it's a whole body experience. it's a thing. So all right. Well, and I'm going to hop on here at some point and play Warzone, and Jamie, you better show up and just bitch about me playing Warzone. If not, I will fire up Tarkov, and then you can watch a super noob. Just kidding, I've played it for 2 hours lifetime. So
ooh, look at you.
Right? All right. Thanks, everybody.
Okay, thanks.
Bye.
Oof, that was terrible.